Hello, and welcome to Running the Table, the podcast where we run through everything on the table in the world of sports. And we are at the middle of the NHL season with the All-Star Game. The 2022 All-Star Game just occurred in Las Vegas, Nevada. It was a really fun weekend. I got my boy Luca here, like always, talking stick and puck with me. And we're going to recap the weekend. And Luca, you're going to get into some snubs, who we think should have made it, but didn't. So without further ado, Luca, you ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to get going. Let's run the table.
Let's do it. So I actually really enjoyed the All-Star Weekend in Vegas because you had the All-Star Skills Challenge festivities. You had that on Friday, and then the actual All-Star games, the 3v3, single elimination tournament between the divisions. That was on Saturday. And I found the All-Star Skills Challenge actually to be really, really fun and one of the more fun All-Star Skills Challenges in sports because, I mean, you got the Breakaway Challenge, like the slam dunk contest. That was really fun. Mm-hmm. I like DeBrincat's act with dodgeball. Pietrangelo took it home, even though there was some controversy there with John Hamm. I thought it was really fun to watch. The fountain face-off on the Bellagio Hotel, that was absolutely beautiful, seeing those guys, their accuracy, just firing them into those targets. The fastest skater, Connor McDavid, was actually upset by St. Louis Blues Jordan Kyrou. That was really fun to watch. It's always really awesome to watch those guys fly around the ice. And then the hardest shot, just seeing those guys light up the radar gun, that's also really fun for me. So I enjoyed the All-Star Skills Challenge. Luca, you got anything from Friday?
Obviously I like them all because I'm a hockey fan, but if I had to pick one, it's definitely the Breakaway Challenge. Now, obviously, John Hamm, because Alex Pietrangelo is a former Blue fan, I think John Hamm should lose all credibility right away because that is just beyond.
As a Breakaway Challenge judge. Yeah.
Awful. But, I mean, yes, Alex DeBrincat was phenomenal, but Trevor Zegras should have been the winner.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that dude was paying a homage to the film Dodgeball. I mean, the dude just wore an average gym shirt and shorts. And of course, he needed to be blindfolded because otherwise it really wouldn't be a true honor to the movie. But that dude dodged dodgeballs and somehow blindfolded, took a mini puck to know where he is on the ice and put it behind the goalie. That was phenomenal. Should have won right away. Yes, the DeBrincat, great act with Derek Carr. I loved it, but Trevor Zegras should have won.
No, that was also really awesome. Zegras. I mean, Dodgeball is a movie that personally I love and I have a special connection to. So seeing him dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, and then put the puck in the net, that was really cool. And then Saturday, you had the actual All-Star games, which 3v3 hockey is really interesting to watch because it's a lot faster. There's a lot more movement. There's a lot less stuff going on the ice. And even though it's shorter, there's still a lot of goals being scored. The first semi game, the Metropolitan beat the Pacific Division 6-4 behind Jack Hughes, his 2 goals. The other semi, the Central Division, defeated the Atlantic Division 8-5. Alex DeBrincat had a pair. Jordan Kyrou had a pair. I mean, DeBrincat, we love DeBrincat as Blackhawks fans, so can't get enough of that guy. And then in the final, the Metropolitan Division took it home 5-3 over the Central Division. Claude Giroux, with 3 goals and an assist in the 2 games, took home 2022 All-Star MVP. So I thought the games themselves, especially the final, were pretty solid overall. That second semi, I think, was the best game, the 8-5 Central versus Atlantic. I feel like that was the most fun game to watch in terms of just goals being scored, just intensity on the ice. But the final didn't disappoint either. So I really enjoyed just the overall weekend, the overall vibe of being in Vegas. That was just a fun environment and one of the more just really cool All-Star weekends to see for the NHL.
I'm kind of shocked you didn't mention Tyreek Hill during the halftime.
Yeah, okay. Tyreek Hill was. I was kind of shocked to see Tyreek Hill there because he's supposed to be there for the Pro Bowl, but he's hanging out at the NHL All-Star Game, smashing beers together. That was really funny.
But I got to admit that the games were very, very good. And honestly, Claude Giroux, congratulations. He deserved every ounce of that MVP. 7-time All-Star appearance. The dude deserves it. He's been a Philadelphia Flyer for so long now, and I feel so bad that he's on such a bad team because he is a phenomenal player. I mean, you saw what he was doing all day, and I'm definitely going to give some props to Tristan Jarry. That dude was stopping everything in the semifinal. I mean, the reason the Pittsburgh Penguins have a chance to get to the Stanley Cup is because of Tristan Jarry. I mean, yes, he is playoff demons from last season against the New York Islanders, but he's going to overcome them, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, the Metropolitan Division doesn't win that final without Tristan Jarry in the net. But enough of the All-Star games themselves. There are some players who missed the All-Star game, who didn't get the opportunity to play. And Luca, you have your list, your Luca's legendary list that you do on Around the Waves every Friday. It's very entertaining. I love it. And you're going to bring it over to Running the Table, and you're going to do a Luca's legendary list of All-Star snubs. So, good sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Drew. I really appreciate it. Obviously, yesterday we couldn't do it on Around the Waves because we had so much time. We had so much time taken off because of football, but let's get to it right now. Give me number 5, please. Sidney Crosby. Why? Look, we understand it. On a statistical basis, Crosby does not deserve to be at the All-Star game this year. I mean, injuries and COVID-related absences. He's appeared in only 34 of the Penguins' 46 games, and it's operating exactly at 1 point a game. Great for most players, but a pace like that for Sidney Crosby is the worst of his entire career. But come on, this is Sidney Crosby we're talking about here. I mean, would you rather see Jake Getzel, the last man in nominee? No offense to him, but he is one of the best players, Sidney Crosby, of all time. Generational talent, drafted the same year as Alex Ovechkin. This is supposed to be a hockey celebration, so Crosby needs to be a part of this. Let's go to number 4, please. Give it to me. Brad Marchand. Why? Few players in the NHL are hotter than Brad Marchand. I mean, he has 8 goals and 2 assists. He had in a 5-game span in January during the nomination week. Top 10 in NHL scoring, 6 more points than anyone on the Bruins, and 10 plus more points than the guy that did represent them in Patrice Bergeron. I mean, beyond his statistical accomplishments, him at the All-Star game would have been so much fun. I mean, few players in the NHL are more hated than Brad Marchand, but let's lean into the fact here. Brad Marchand is so much fun to watch. The physicality aspect he brings to the table. He's only played in 38 games and has 21 goals, 28 assists, and 49 points, which is top 10 in the league with points. So that's number 4 on my list. He didn't make the number 3, though. Give it to me. Trevor Zegras. Why? No player has transcended the hockey world like Trevor Zegras has done. Represents the next wave of entertaining and creative forwards that have taken the league by storm. I mean, he's made plenty of highlights with that unconventional pass that lets it go. I don't care what John Tortorella says. I don't care what he said on TNT. It don't matter. That was phenomenal. Zegras is just so influential for a 20-year-old rookie, just making all the right turns. I mean, he may be a little radical in terms of his hockey play, but damn it, it's so much fun to watch. He is just so much fun with his skates and how fast he is on the ice. And the homage to 2004 film Dodgeball last night, very clever, by the way. He ain't in the top 2, though.
Another thing about Trevor Zegras, I mean, the NHL clearly sees how electric this young rookie is by letting him participate in the skills challenge, even though he wasn't elected to the All-Star competition. But I digress. I completely agree. Luca, continue.
He's not in the top 2, though. Give me number 2. Artemi Panarin. Why? With all due respect to Chris Kreider, who made the All-Star game as a representative of the New York Rangers, Adam Fox, though he was as well, but he got hurt. He is superior. He is the superior forward of the New York Rangers. Chris Kreider, great player. He is not better than Artemi Panarin. I mean, this is the best offensive forward on the New York Rangers, in my opinion, but he's probably amongst the most electric talents in the entire league. easily one of the most creative players in the game, and the contest would have been so much better if he was there, but it was actually worse because he wasn't there. Over the last 3 seasons, only 8 players spot a better point per game percentage than the 30-year-old Ring. Ridiculous. And if the All-Star game is really about skill, shouldn't Panarin be in that game? That's just me, though. And give me number 1, please. Igor Shesterkin. Why? It is so hard to imagine him not in this game. Yes, Tristan Jarry and Frederik Andersen, they deserve their flowers. Don't get me wrong. But Igor Shesterkin has the best save percentage in the NHL right now. I mean, the dude plays in front of a porous off a defense every single game. And honestly, Frederik Andersen, yes, you have had a career season, but you got a defense, my guy. Shesterkin doesn't. The dude needs to be part of this. Obviously, when you look at him, you got solid players on the New York Rangers, but Igor Shesterkin, A, in my opinion, is going to win the Vezina Trophy, and B, he is the power. He is basically the heartbeat of the New York Rangers to win the Stanley Cup. That is my list.
Yeah, I don't have too much issue with your list. Zegras definitely deserved to be in. Shesterkin, how he didn't make it is beyond me. And I think your point with Sidney Crosby and Artemi Panarin is, if the All-Star game is really about the collection of the best of the NHL, Sidney Crosby hasn't had the year that he's used to having, but Sid the Kid is one of the faces of the league. Right. So if he was put in despite his subpar season for his standards, I don't think anybody would have had an issue. I mean, same thing with Artemi Panarin, how skilled he is.
He got robbed.
Yeah, looking at him next to Kreider, you could have put either one in and I wouldn't have had an issue with it. But that is Luca's legendary list. It was a ton. It's always a ton of fun when you go on your legendary list monologues. So it's always a pleasure. So I think that is going to wrap up the NHL All-Star recap episode, and with a little Luca's legendary list, NHL All-Star snubs. Luca, as always, where can we find you, sir? Because I know the people love you.
Thanks, Drew. You can find me at Around the Waves, KCOU 88.1 FM. That show, the radio show, is every Friday at 2:00 Central Time. We talk plenty of NHL, NFL, NBA, plenty of Mizzou basketball, men's and women's as of right now. Obviously, I go to University of Missouri, so you can find me there anytime, every Friday.
Luca, thank you so much for appearing on Running the Table. Once again, we love having you. And we have tons of content for you. So if you want to see more, like and subscribe for more Running the Table content. And until next time, we out.